Okay, we just made it here to the Floridian in West Palm Beach. We're here to see Claude Harmon. Don't know what the day has in store for us. I know we're going to talk a little bit about Arccos. He's going to analyze my game a little bit. I'm a little freaked out because it's a mess. But this is a beautiful place. I want to thank them for having us out here. What do you say?
Oh man, I can't wait to hang out with Claude, see what he has to say, see this golf course that's got such a great reputation, and I'm looking to hit the golf ball. I've been in Toronto for the past 4 months.
Yeah, and it's blowing, but the sun's out. So for us, it's a big deal. But we're going to have some fun. Looking forward to a great day. So we'll see you guys in a second. Thank you for having us here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, glad to help. So you're looking at this mess.
Yeah.
What do you see?
I mean, obviously it's easy to look at, all of the data and kind of, I think most players want to try and figure out where they can improve the things they're good at, right? So just looking at, your Arccos stuff, and the easiest way I think that we can look at the things that can improve is, your putting and your chipping, your short game, and what you do with your putting they're not good. And you're losing so many strokes because you can't get it up and down, you can't hold the putts that you want to you hold. So when we look at your rounds, you've got around a 74, you got around an 82, 84, 79, 75, and then one from yesterday where you played 9 holes and shot 40. And in going through, Johnny, looking at all of it, let's look at like a really bad round of golf for you. So you shoot 84. All right, so when we look at the Arccos data, shoot 84, 7 to 13 fairways, 8 to 18 greens, you're 5 of 8 getting up and down, and you have 35 putts. Right? So I think where your brain goes to is, okay, 84, I need to improve my ball striking because I only hit 7 fairways, I only hit 8 greens. So when I look at this, 35 putts with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3 putts, right? So 35 putts. So if we just take the 3 putts and turn them into 2 putts, right? All of a sudden our putting stat is around 30, which looks, it's not great, right, but it's manageable. And then if we look at, getting up and down, that's going to help that. But to me, you have a round of 84 where you double bogey the first, so you bogey a par 4 that double bogey one of the par 5s, you double bogey another par 4, double bogey a par 3, and then you got 5 doubles. Okay. And I think for you, when you said your brain goes to, okay, I need to hit it better, and I need to make more birdies, you need to make more bogeys. If you would make more bogeys and not do anything else, not improve any other category, just improve the bogey count and take away the 3 putts. So if we eliminate 5 doubles and just turn them into bogeys, right, your score is in the 70s. And then we take 1 or 2 of the 3 putts and turn them into 2 putts, you're shooting in like the mid to high 70s, which is manageable.
So you said something that for like the golfer's ego is, this is where Arccos really comes in handy. It's like, I'm always one of those guys, because I've played good golf in the past, I never want to hear it, just make less double bogeys. Like, or you need to make more bogeys.
But that's just basic, that's just real math.
Right.
So every round of golf that you're currently playing, you've got at least 1 double bogey.
Yeah.
Right? And the easiest way to have your scores and your handicap reduced is not necessarily to hit. A lot of times, so if we go through, and I think one of the things I love about Arccos is, we look at, one of the doubles you make. So we've got a double on a par 4 where you drive it right in the middle of the fairway. So you've got 157 yards to go.
Right.
And you make double. I mean, so you've hit a good drive, and you put it in a good position. You've got a mid to short iron, and you miss the green. And then it looks basically over here like you're playing hockey. I mean, it just goes. But when you look at the data, and you see all of this over here, all of this over good drive, and then all of this is just basically chaos. You know, so you miss the green, you got 83 yards, and you hit it over the green, and then all of this stuff, and it's just all of this back and forth. And if you could clean up one of those shots, just one,
Right.
you turn that mess into a bogey, and it improves your score. And you know, if we look at all of the double bogeys, again, another par 4 where you hit a good drive, you hit it 271 yards off the tee, and you got 185 yards in, and you make double. Yeah. And it's just, again, one shot after you hit a great drive. You need to clean up one of those shots. Okay. And so we know that when we look at your data, most of that is short game around the greens. You probably look at this, so when you look at this, you think, okay, 13, I had 7 fairways and 8 greens. Gotta improve my ball striking.
Right.
But the chaos is all in what happens when you miss the green. Yes, obviously, if you could hit the green, it would make it easier. But there's a big difference between ball striking and short game.
Yeah.
And short game, with the limited amount that you can practice, you know, obviously being in Toronto and, you know, the limited amount, you can putt indoors, and you can probably, in a simulator somewhere, just work on basic chip shots.
Right.
Work on the mechanics of, you know, how far you take the golf club back. I would venture to say that you probably don't really have a good kind of grasp and are able to manage distance from inside of 150 yards.
Well, it's actually kind of interesting because if you were to ask me right now what my strengths in my game are, it would be I'm a good chipper, I'm a good putter, and I'm a really bad ball striker.
Right. The data
does not show
does
that.
not show that.
Right.
Because when we look at your Arccos data, and we go and look at you're decent off the tee, and your iron game isn't really that. The other thing that I find interesting is when we look at so if we look at kind of where you are from, we go to Arccos and we look at where you are from 150 yards, right? You're short 20% of the time from 150 yards, okay? Right? You've hit it over the green less than 4%. So what that tells me is you're dramatically underestimating how far you hit the club because you're choosing the wrong club. Because if you're coming up short 20% of the time, it'd be different if it was under 10. But when we look at this, it's easy to look at this and say, okay, yeah, my ball striking needs to get better. Could that be contact? Sure, but I'm guessing it's a little bit of you just don't choose the right club. And when you go and you look at it, so if you're 20% of the time short from inside 150 yards, the easy fix is to go out on the golf course and every time you're inside 150 yards, take one more club.
Okay.
So if you don't hit it solid, you've got a little bit of a buffer in how far it's going to carry. So when we look at kind of your club data, one of the things that I look at a lot with players in Arccos is, you know, their greens in regulation. You know, with a 7 iron, you're hitting your green 50% of the time. With an 8 iron, it's 40%. With a 9 iron, it's 50%. With a pitching wedge, it's 66. 50 degree, it's 85. And then 55. So the scoring clubs that are really kind of the clubs that most golfers feel like they can control, right? Right. Mid irons, from 7 iron down to pitching wedge. You don't hit the green 50% of the time.
No. I said this what you're looking at. This is on the coach's part of it.
Yeah, but this is, you can look at this as well. This is greens in regulation. So how many greens you're hitting with each club.
Okay.
So we've got your 7 iron, and again, 7 iron, you're 50% 30% of the time, you're short.
Wow.
30%.
That's a huge number.
Right? And we can look at that with every club. 8 iron, 22% of the time, you're short it. 9 iron, you're okay. Pitching wedge, still coming up short. And if we look at every club, so if we look at all of your irons, 4 iron, you never hit it over the green. 5 iron, you've never hit it over the green. 6 iron, you've never hit it over the green. You hit it over the green with a 7 iron. You've never hit it over the green with an 8 iron. You've never hit it over the green with a 9 iron. You've never hit it over the green with a pitching wedge. You've never done, so if you watch golf on TV, right, you watch guys down the stretch that have opportunities to win PGA Tour events. They'll stand in the middle of the fairway and they've got maybe a 1-shot lead and they're coming down the stretch on the back nine. Where's the miss? They'll hit one over the green, right? They'll hit it right at the flag and they'll hit it past. You never do that. You're never taking enough club to allow for the miss. And most golfers do the exact same thing. So again, it's easy to look at all of the data and just go, well, my ball striking needs to get better. So when I look at this, we can go out of the golf club and we could, every time you pull a 7 iron, take a 6 iron.
Right.
Every time you pull an 8 iron, pull a 7 iron. And the majority of your scoring, if we look at your overall performance, you're almost a shot over par on the par 3s. Well, that's basically because you're coming up short the majority of the time.